Okay, so let's look at another example. Look at number 2 in your Learn book. So it says 7 equal groups of how many is 161. So we know is the same as our total, or equals. So we know we have 7 equal groups of how many is 161. So we can think about it as a multiplication equation. And we know that when we have a missing factor, we then do division. So now we're thinking 161 divided by 7 equals what? So I know that you guys just practiced some other strategies using what you know from last year in 3rd grade to help you divide that other problem of 78 divided by 6. Let's look at a way that we do it for division in 4th grade. We call this strategy the box strategy, okay? Yes, most of the time you will see division written horizontally like this. This is fine. Sometimes, and actually here in a little bit on the lessons, you will see 161 inside of this, we call it like a house shape, and then what you're dividing by goes on the outside. Now, to do the box strategy, you're going to actually make this into a box around your 161. You could do this with me in your Learn book. Then, in between each of our digits, we are going to draw a line separating the place values. Okay? Now, every fourth grader will, for division, write down your sevens facts. Again, another reason why you need to be able to skip count. So, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, let's get my paper here, 49, 56, 63, and then you can stop at 70 because you don't need to go bigger than your multiples of 10, okay? So now I'm going to start in the very first column, and I'm going to think, all right, is this digit here in my list of my sevens? Nope, it's not. So because it's not here, I'm going to put a 0 on top saying I cannot count by 7, or I'm going to count by 7 0 times in my list here. So then I think, all right, 0 times 7 is what? Yep, 0. I'm going to put the 0 underneath in that same column. Now I'm going to subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. Whenever you have something left over in this column, you're going to draw an arrow and you're going to move it to this column here. So now I don't just have 6, I have 16. So now I go back to my skip count list. I don't have 16, but I do have something that's close to it, but does not get bigger than 16. So I'm here at 14. 14 is not bigger than 16, but it's as close as I can get without going over. I circle the 14. Yes, you have to circle the 14. Then in my skip count list, how many times do I skip count to get to that circled number? Oh, 1, 2. That 2 goes on top. And then the number that's in my circle goes in the box underneath my 16, and I've got 14. Now again, I'm going to subtract. And now I'm 16 minus 14. I have a leftover of 2. Then, just like in this column over here, I have a leftover. I'm going to draw my arrow next door, move that value. So again, I'm decomposing it. I'm moving it to that smaller place value. Now I've got 21. I'm going to look at my list. Oh, my skip count list, I have exactly 21. Circle it. I'm going to count how many times I skip count by 7. 1, 2, 3. 3 goes on top. The number that's in my circle goes in the box. Now I'm doing 21 minus 21, and I get 0. Okay? Biggest things you have to remember. You have to write out your skip count list. When you go to look at what you're skip counting to, you get as close as you can without going over what's in the box. The number of times you skip count goes on top in that column, and then what's in the circle goes in the box for you to subtract from. You may need to make your box a little bit bigger than what I did. Mine was a little small even for me. Okay, be careful practicing. Work through each of those steps for each of the next remaining problems. Practice makes permanent. Make sure you're practicing the right way.